just have a seat? Yeah, I'll take the here. I'll sit here if you want to take that one. No, that was Well, this was a wonderful film, a great idea, pulled off, very fun. As soon as I saw the mimes and knowing the tone of this block, I was like, oh man, I hope that it works and all the blood comes out. And I was like thrilled once the first head went off. And I was like, yes, sign me up. So had a lot of fun. You have also won an award, the Grand Jury Award for Best Horror Short Film.
Oh! Just found out right now.
I think. Yeah. Well, so why don't we just go down the line and everybody can introduce themselves and say how you got involved.
I'm Tommy O'Rourke. I wrote and directed Silent Scream. How I got involved is
I'm
Josh Sathry. I produced it, and I've been producing him for over 20 years.
I'm Ari Fromm. I sent in a self-tape on Actors Access.
True story.
It can't happen, kids.
I would just love to start with like the beginning of the process with the creative and where the idea came from.
I hate mimes. I want to kill as many as possible in the bloodiest ways possible. The previous film that we did was like 30 pages of dialogue, and it was just two guys talking. And I was like, what's the opposite of that? And then obviously mimes. I just want to do something with all action. I've never done practical effects. And so I was like, this is just a way to dive in. And I originally had this like pretty long, as Josh will remind me. And we kind of just cut it down and got it to a point where I think we could actually pull this off, and this is the end result.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah. Not just pretty long, but 3 times as many characters in a 3-act structure of a revenge saga. But we got it there.
It's like a feature.
The wonderful thing about Tommy is his enthusiasm. And yes, our last film, which played Jeff's Sherman Oaks Film Festival, Barney and Herb, was a half hour of dialogue. And so Tommy was like, you're gonna be so proud of me. I wrote a script that has no dialogue, but it was still 10 pages. I'm like, oh, if it's actually longer, Tommy, when it's 10 pages of scene descriptions. But we got there.
What was the process like inventing all of the various gags and weapons that they use?
Well, I was thinking what are the most creative ways we could do this, and how could it be awesome to see on the screen? And then when we picked up this effects guy, Steven Johnson, who's incredible. He's been working for the last 20 years, and we spent literally weeks and weeks and weeks in his backyard messing around with different nozzles and because everything was practical. And I thought it would be super easy because it was practical. It was the polar opposite. It was the polar opposite. And in the end, they were just saying too with Candle, sometimes you just get one take and you're like, oh my God, this is horrifying. But we tested as much as we could, and we had hoses running through sleeves.
Already had a lot of hoses. He might have had the most hoses.
The most hoses. It's awesome. It's it really gets you excited on set. And we have 1 or 2, maybe 2 takes of this, and we felt prepared going in, and then on the day we felt horribly oh man, this is all going to go awry. Yeah. But how did it feel to be rigged up?
I was gonna say that part was the most fun because it was the last shot of the day and we were running out of time, and it was the one where I got chainsawed through the chest, and so I don't know, I think I had 45 minutes where you all were filming stuff and I was just with the SFX guy getting hoses up me, and it was I had a hose going up my leg and then one coming into my chest and one coming on my back, and we had to make it look like my chest was flat because it was that profile shot, and I'm wearing so many layers. I was but I felt like I was binding again. Also, I'm trans. But it was we had to make the hose and the full pressurized air be able to come out and not stick it, not look like a valve, but also not hurt my skin. And that was it was like complicated, and we were rushing, and we only had one take because then it made the whole room bloody. So it was fun.
Cool.
Well, yeah, can you talk to me about like production logistics, and once you had the script, how did you go about getting it off the ground, and what did the set look like?
Josh. Producer question.
The set was a stage kind of by USC that is used for music videos and looks like a warehouse, and Tommy wrote like interior warehouse, so it was one of those like our DP found it as like one of those happy accidents. And then our first AD, who Tommy and I went to film school with, he saw the set the first morning, was like, okay, we're gonna never see that way, so we would pivot on a 45-degree angle so that we could always have the gear and everything that way. And we covered most of it in plastic, and that's when like the stage owners would kind of start to come out of their office and be like, what you guys doing? Just so you know, you get one drop of blood on that wall, and that's another $1,000. And this guy lost all focus of directing the movie. But yeah, like as Ari said, we had one take for pretty much every blood gag, and we could do two, but as the candle crew was saying, was like, then you're sacrificing something. It's like, all right, well, if it's not perfect and you want to go again, you're gonna lose 90 minutes. And it was a 2-day shoot.
You can't tell somebody like me you're gonna charge me $1,000 for getting a drop of blood on the wall. She came in and I literally took her hand and put it on my heart after we did the first blood take. I'm like, I'm dying. Like that's like a third of our budget. You can't tell me something like that. And she's like, oh sweetie, I just tell people that to like make sure they don't get our place all fucked up. It's like, well, it worked because I almost died. I literally put her hand on my heart. I'm like, I'm dying right now. Bye, Lynn.
Good, great. How was casting? And like, did people have mime experience or what? Yeah, how'd that work?
Incredible, because I just put a breakdown on Actors Access. It was unpaid. We had no money, but we're like, it's a cool concept. And I don't know why I would have told you this, but we got like 800 responses for like 6 roles. And maybe 3 of them had actual mime.
Even 6, because we had Derek and we had,
Oh yeah, that's true. But like out of all of them, our lead mime, they got the very last kill. Derek was the only like actual, and I'm not going to put it in quotes because he was a real mime. He is a real mime, still alive.
He couldn't be here tonight because he's miming.
It's true. So we had like, he was like the king mime, and he like helped everybody else out. And we did like a crash course with the rest of the bozos, and like walk them through that. What was that? How was that not having like real mime experience?
Sorry, I asked.
Yes, I didn't have real mime experience, although like it was weird because I had just the month before been cast as like a clown and also didn't have that experience and it was happening a lot.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. We got one rehearsal like one morning, and I could tell that Derek, the actual mime, was stressed because of how much he knew that we weren't gonna know. But we all like got really specific instruction on our like one thing that we were gonna do with our weapon or whatever, and I went home and I like practiced it so much. Just the once I can mime the one thing. But,
Yeah.
I will say that on set, Derek said to me like, Ari did their homework, like it.
Let's go.
And Kelsey, our final girl, she had the chainsaw bit, and she went home and held her own chainsaw and like practiced day in and day out with it to get it perfect. So yeah, we learned a lot about miming.
And I was so proud of them. And Derek, the real mime, said like, honestly, like these are not classic mime bits. So so there's a little wiggle room here because there's not like a classic mime chainsaw. There's not like a classic mime it's not like the classic like rope thing or like trapped in a box. Yeah. So he wasn't as terrified as he let on.
One more little.
When they did the canoe bit and we did a couple takes of that, Patrick, the first AD, and I were standing there, and every time they would be called to talk to Tommy. Derek would do this. To walk out of the canoe, even though we weren't rolling cameras.
That's amazing. Well, I assumed everybody was a professional full-time mime, so
Thank you.
well done. Okay, so my last question before I open it up to the audience is for each of you, what was the single hardest shot to pull off?
Jeez. I mean, all of the practical effects were horrifying. I think the chainsaw was the scariest, because that's the one where like I was like, oh man, there's blood coming, like a bad crime scene. It's like blood's come out of both ends. So like, you know, there was like blood, and I was like so worried it was gonna get up, like way up on the wall. So that one, yeah, the chainsaw was just awful and made me like my heart race.
I think the hardest one was when she falls off the cliff, because that was scripted from the beginning, and Tommy and the DP were so psyched about doing it. The camera's gonna pull up while she lays on the ground and flails. And halfway through that day, the first AD pulled me aside and was like, dude, we cannot get this. And I was like, no, you gotta, this is Tommy's dream. And we walked through it with the DP, and yeah, we couldn't get it. So we cut it. And I had to tell Tommy, we can't do this. And like, kind of like the Jaws swimming pool in Spielberg's backyard, like Tommy the DP called me one day and they're like, call the actress, we're shooting this in the DP's backyard tomorrow. So that was our one pickup.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I was gonna say the chainsaw shot was also the hardest, just because I could tell that you all were stressed. Like, it wasn't the hardest acting job, but it was like, oh my God, there's so many people involved in what I'm about to do, and if I mess up, then everything is bad. And I also, you all like told me a couple times, like, you must fall forward, don't you dare turn sideways or you will get blood on the camera. So it's like, okay, right. Yeah.
I bet the camera team said that.
Okay, probably. So many people were telling me that.
Well, you killed it.
Great.
Because the special effects person was a perfectionist, and he felt like the blood might have been off by half second, and he was like, do you want to go again? And we were like, no!
That was also one of my favorite moments, which is the blood kept going. So like when Ari fell forward and the blood just kept going and going and going, and the canoe passed the spray of blood, it was like one of the happiest accidents.
That's an accident. Amazing. Cool. Well, do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, in the back.
How much did you let your mimes kind of play and improvise versus how much was choreographed?
How much play and improv for the mimes?
Actually, I was gonna say none. But like there was a little wiggle room for them to do some like little bits, and I am an improviser. I've been an improviser for like 20 years. It's kind of embarrassing at this point. But I love to let my actors do their thing when they can, and they added a lot of little stuff that I didn't like particularly writing the script, but like we really had to stay focused on a lot of the beats, obviously, because it's like there's no dialogue to cheat or get you out of it. So like there was minimal improv, I would say, but like definitely like little stuff like the sword lick. I wasn't like, you gotta lick the sword, man. Like that's one of the.
Was that you?
No, she did that.
Yeah, I think she probably had the most improv.
Yeah. So there was like really great moments that they found, and I'm all for that. Like it made the project so much better.
Yeah, I will say that having done it, most of Tommy's projects are dialogue driven. We had a heart-to-heart. It was like, I know you want this. You always tell your actors, play with it, but we can't have that luxury on this one.
Yeah, it was just, the story was written very clearly, and so it was like, okay, I need to remember to do all of these bits that were written down, and then that was kind of the shot. But like, there were like tiny moments that, like you were saying, and I think some of those were like, Derek would turn to me, and like in the shots where there were the three of us, you might be like, what if you added just like a little tiny thing right here? Yeah.
That's cool. I think we have time for one or two more. Yes, all the way in the back.
Yeah, love the film, so clean, like it looked really expensive, and it sounds like it wasn't. I'm just curious what the budget was.
Can you talk about budget?
Ooh, Josh is gonna get you on that
Truthfully, the budget's irrelevant. It was nothing, but we have friends and we've been doing this a long time, so truly nobody got paid. Everybody worked for free. The budget basically went to food and the blood and the location. So we can all, like, everybody wants to know the budget, but it's, in these moments, it's a non-starter, if that makes sense. Like, it's not worth saying, like, we did this for $15,000 or $200. It doesn't matter because we cashed in favors.
Under $1 million.
All right, well, I like ending on that because it's a testament to community and indie film. So great job, everybody. Let's give it up for all of our filmmakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.